Did you guys know that Billy Joel's early stuff was just freaking fire? It was cracking. So good. Go listen to it while you wait for us to start. About 30 seconds.
Shame.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Welcome to Famicom Dojo live, or this week we're going to play some more of Zelda 2, my favoriteest Zelda game. Although, to be fair, a new game has come out. Clunk, crash, smash. Here we go. A new game has come out. A new Zelda sequel called Tears of the Kingdom. A direct sequel to Breath of the Wild. So direct, in fact, that they have the same characters, the same overworld, more or less. Clearly a continuation of the events of Breath of the Wild and its DLC. So, makes me think of Zelda 2 and how it was not only the first ever Zelda sequel, but it very much followed the events of the original Zelda game. How do you ask? Well, I'm glad you did ask just now, because there's a whole booklet somewhere, I have it somewhere, that explains exactly how it continues from the first Zelda game. Because you see, Ganon was defeated at the end of the original Zelda. He had the Triforce of Power, tried to steal the Triforce of Wisdom, and then Princess Zelda spread it into 8 pieces across Hyrule so that he couldn't have it, but it was up to Link to collect them, and he defeats Ganon. But aren't there 3 pieces of the Triforce, Sean? I'm so glad you asked that question too. Well, that wasn't canonically available, and it was called the Triforce after all, right? But they didn't mention it at all anywhere in the first game. So the third game is all about finding the Triforce of Courage. A symbol appears in the back of Link's hand, and that shows that he is the one who is destined to find it, because you see the original Princess Zelda, not the one that he saved in the first game, but the original Princess Zelda that you see sleeping in the castle has been asleep for generations, untold amount of time. Fell into a deep sleep after a wizard basically tried to steal the Triforce for himself. Well, there was a lot going on, like the prince, Zelda's brother, was going to be a not great and kind of feckless king, I guess. So his father is like, nah, bro, you don't get the Triforce. I'm going to hide it until someone worthy comes along. And so this wizard, trying to find the location, casts Zelda into a deep sleep, and then forever afterwards, every princess is named after her. Boy, that's embarrassing when there are 2 girls born into a family, but that would never happen, right? Because it's medieval times. Anyway, so, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, right, that Zelda has a brother, because primogeniture and, male-dominated lines and kingdoms and whatnot, just a thing that happens in at least human history. Can't really say Hyrulean history, although, boy, it sure seems that this game is going a long way to invalidate all that story. We'll get to that. But that's fine. The point being is that now it is Link's job. He is the chosen one. It's like 6 years. He's like 16. It's like 6 years after the first game. He was like 10 when he defeated Ganon. Isn't that wild? So like the whole like kid adult Link thing like goes way back to the first games. Anyway, so you got this adult Link scouring the landscape to put the crystals into 6 palaces to unlock the final palace, and then earn the Triforce of Courage and become the king, presumably, and wake up the Princess Zelda, the original. I guess That would make her heir. Would that make her heir to the throne? Like, isn't the current? This is very confusing. So the way this normally works, right, is like the title comes down through a line, right, and usually through a son. And if that son doesn't get it, it might go to a daughter. Depends on what country you're living in, which monarchy we're talking about here. So that means the current Princess Zelda and him get married, and he becomes king. But usually, if the power rests with the queen, then he's just like a prince consort, right? But no, this is like really implying that he becomes like the king. So that's just like, forget all that. So now, if he really wants to cement to the existing monarchy, he's got to marry one of the princesses, right? But which Zelda does he marry? They never say. They never say. Anyway, glad you've joined us. We're going to play this game with all those thoughts in mind. I'm serious about the Billy Joel stuff too, by the way. You really should go listen to it. It's great. It's still rock and roll and me stuck in my head. Only after I looked up You May Be Right. Both very bluesy, rocky songs. So good. So good. There's a lot of guitar stuff in that, in both of those. So you might think of Billy Joel more as a piano guy, and he is. But though that takes a back seat to the rock. And you can play it without the keyboard. Excuse me. So speaking of Zelda 2, and I dropped it again. It's very embarrassing for me. I got this third-party third player. That was loud. Zelda Famicom controller that I've been using instead of an NES controller, because I have this wonderful RAFnet adapter, which we've done videos about. A video? I think it's just the one. Goes into the NES port, so good times. So yeah, let's play some old Zelda sequel and talk about some new Zelda sequel, because I'm sure you've been playing this game. I sure have. A lot of things I don't expect, so here we go. Maybe. To the retro station!
Shame!
All right. Am I still too loud? I thought I turned down my audio. Do I have to turn it down more? That helps a little bit. Yes, that's where we left off. Do I just continue from here? It's probably the safest thing to do. So whatever experience I had, I died last time, you see. So any experience that I had working toward my next level got wiped. It's just like the Princess Zelda I was talking about. Saw this fascinating video that Satoshi linked after we played this the first time, can't remember, about how getting lost here. I'm trying to think of what I'm supposed to be doing. Someone did like a palette swap using an emulator to improve excuse me, to improve the game. Woo. Fun. So where we left off, I think that we finished 3 palaces. Yeah, we can check here. Oh, only 2. So we're on the 3rd palace. Okay. I thought for sure we had done more than that. We got all those items. That's okay, because getting to the 4th one's pretty easy comparatively. So the other thing too is that with all these moves I have, sure, the guy who steals my magic is the one that I actually run into. I could grind. I could spend a lot of time grinding here. I don't think I'll do that. I might do it off camera at some point. But, oops, I went the wrong way. grinding here. Oh yeah. Ooh. No up thrust yet. Still working on that one. Ow. 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 Ow! Knock it off, jerks! Timing. That's where I wanted. No, not here. Down thrust is super helpful though. I mean, it really changes the way you play this game. Is there anything here? Can I even read this? Did I go the wrong way? I was supposed to like go straight down from here. There it is. Hello, Alexa. How's it going? All right. Well, we're already making some good progress on our experience here. So yeah, what do you guys think of Tears of the Kingdom so far? How far are you? I mean, I want to try and stay relatively unspoiled, but it's getting kind of difficult. There's just so much game, and it's just so hard to follow the main plot. Like, even doing as much as I have of it, it's like... Uh-oh. Oh. I've been having a hard time just... I'm having a hard time doing just that because there's just so much to do and explore all the time. You don't even have to follow the main plot. I ended up accidentally doing something to advance the main plot. Especially considering that... bummer, dude. Especially considering that it kept telling me to go to like the eastern region. And I ended up getting something I needed for now. So, I don't know where I was saving before, so we'll just do it here. Hold on a second, I'm gonna alert. I'm going to do alerts. Discord here that we started. Oh, I'm going to alert Twitter too. Alright, so the good thing about this game is that the progress I made isn't done. Like, I've used all the keys I think that I had. I've gotten the item, which is the raft, that I need to get to the next piece. So I just have to get through the palace. And since it's been a few weeks, I've forgotten what that route is. So we'll have to find that out together. It'll be fun. Nothing else we can enjoy. Yeah! Forgot about that boomerangs. Okay. I always love being able to, kill those little critters with the down thrust dog, breaking any blocks. Nice little mini challenge for me. So yeah, where am I right now? In Tears of the Kingdom, I've completed my quest up into the northwest. Like I said, I've been encouraged to go to the east now. Yeah, I don't know how much I want to say for those of you who are, like me, haven't gotten terribly far and don't want to get told too much. I will say, though, that there is either some rewriting of the Zelda timeline going on, or it'll fit together in this weird mosaic, but really my understanding of any particular Zelda game is that they just want to make the best game possible. And they're going to probably just borrow elements of the Zelda mythos without having to like actually repeat them or have to adhere to them. Now, the only other game before this that has explicitly acknowledged the existence of another Link, because it's only been through ancillary media that it's even admitted that there are multiple Links. I mean, it's implied from Link to the Past, which takes place prior to the first Zelda game, that there's this other set of Links and Zeldas. We already know that Princesses Zelda exist as of this second game, so it's not too much of a stretch to think that, oh, there's this other one named Zelda, that there are two Zeldas now as of this game, but like the multiple Links thing is new. So ever since then, a lot of the new Zelda games kind of go further and further back in time until you get to Breath of the Wild, which is supposed to take place far into the future of all of them. And if you care about the Hyrule Historia timeline that Nintendo put together, then we also don't have to worry about the specifics of those timelines, because this is supposed to be so far after them that like all of them can be pulled from kind of to make up the mythos of this game. And maybe that's what's happening here, because they talk about the imprisoning war, and in fact Link to the Past's booklet also talks about the imprisoning war, and it sounds suspiciously similar to the events of Ocarina of Time. I'm going to do a whole video about this, by the way, and by a whole video I mean I'm going to probably make a short about it, but it might be worth exploring in wake of what is added by Tears of the Kingdom or changed. So it's eerily similar, and so when Ocarina of Time comes out, you know, there are 7 stages that are used to imprison Ganon. One of them, of course, is Zelda, but then another one is Saria, Link's Kokiri friend. Now the Kokiri are like little leaf people, so like was the original Link a Kokiri person? Or did they change into these little leaf people through the march of time? Much like the Rito were originally supposed to be like evolved Zora in Wind Waker, which is weird because why would they be when there's lots of water around? But whatever. Now it's implied, not even implied, it's straight up said that like Rito were around during the imprisoning war. We'll get to that though. We'll get there. Okay, so I was here already and I got the stuff. I wasn't sure if this was the direction I had to go. Alright, let's hope that, oh, I did shield and not jump? What an idiot. Nothing? Alright, well, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Get that magic back. I wasn't sure. And I want to be able to give you guys a good stream rather than like be pedantic about how I beat this. I've already beaten this game without the use of save states. Which was an accomplishment. After I did the first stream about this game, I couldn't stop. I didn't want to wait for the next week or whenever I was going to be able to do this again. Because it wasn't the next week that I played it. Because I had to finish and do other stuff, move on, and everything. So, I hate these guys. I hate them. Just better to keep moving. So you learn certain things, like every 6 of these blue guys that you kill. No. Gives you a potion. Oh, I hate this so much. Think about that. So, the imprisoning war sure sounds like the events of Ocarina of Time. Like the 7 sages come together, they help imprison Ganon, and Link is involved. Now, the booklet for, despite being called Link to the Past, the booklet for, I'm gonna die, aren't I? This is embarrassing. Hello, Reluctant Hero. Evening. The book for Link to the Past doesn't mention a hero during the imprisoning war, like at all. Like not even like, I'm not just talking about specifically not Link, but like no other hero at all. So that's kind of weird. And that's what Hyrule Historia ends up doing, is that they roll with that, and it's like, all right, clearly there's a version of this where Link did exist, but we're going to use that to mean that Ganon defeated Link in one timeline, and the imprisoning war happened without him. So the 7 sages still came together. Now you'd think it'd be the same 7, right? But the implication, because they mention the imprisoning war right at the beginning of this game, so I hope I'm not spoiling much, but like it's on like a tableau, right? Much like in Wind Waker when they first acknowledged that there was a hero of time, which is, I think, very specifically the Ocarina of Time Link, that he disappeared, right? So that's another branch of history. And these games are supposed to be off that first one, where the imprisoning war happened and like Link to the Past happened and all that. Like this is like this dark timeline. Terrible, right? Excuse me. But then in Wind Waker's timeline, Hyrule's eventually destroyed, and then they're just like, just forget about it, it's fine. But they acknowledge that multiple Links exist. And wouldn't it be cool to have multiple Links in one game? The Hero of Time just reappears one day? I think I'd love that. But anyway. In this timeline, the hero disappeared. And we're supposed to think that when Zelda sends Adult Link back in time, to his childhood, he goes up normally, that maybe he helps defeat Ganon again or whatever in that timeline, so he lives and doesn't disappear. But now we're supposed to think like there was this third timeline created when she sends him back and there's no Hero of Time anymore, so that when Ganon rises again, there's no one to stop him. And that's where Wind Waker comes from. This is Nintendo's take on this, right? But the imprisoning war is mentioned again in this game, and it sure seems like there's no Link. It sure seems like this is the version of the imprisoning war that we're meant to think that Link to the Past discussed. And I don't know how to feel about that, because it's like a fourth timeline, basically. So if you think of this stuff as like remixes on themes rather than a universe, like a shared coherent universe, you're gonna have a much better time with it. You know, it's all jazz, baby. Unlike Billy Joel, which is more blues. Anyway. I don't have enough magic to save myself, nor do I have enough life to survive to get enough magic to save myself. And that's it. Okay. So I haven't gotten much farther, but suffice to say, after what I have witnessed, there is a Rito who was present for the imprisoning war, which is not how it went in Ocarina of Time at all, and not how one would imply it would have gone without Link being present. Because there were no Rito that existed in the mythos at that point, so why would there be? Ah, yes. It's fun. It's all fun, guys. Don't take it too seriously. You know? Okay, what's the correct way through here? Like, any way works, really. I bet you this one ends, though. Oh, no? Ooh, works for me. Probably use that too. Some more judicious use of shield might be. Oh, I can't up thrust. So I gotta go from the top and down thrust. Cheeky. Alright. Don't worry, I wasn't stuck. Were you guys worried? Don't worry. Are we gonna skip this guy? Yeah, I'm gonna skip him because I think it's more important to get through this than to... Oh! 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 Is that how we're doing it? Ugh. It's more important to get through this than it is to level up. I'll level up well before I need to. Not to worry. Oh, am I done already? No, this is a mini-boss. Think, Sean, think. I mean, it's possible. I didn't have... These palaces aren't that big. Oh, this is the horsey one. There he is. There he is. I think we're gonna shield it up just to be safe. So yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes, but like I'm kind of hungry for more story. But at the same time, like I need to explore this vast, vast world. And of course, everyone knows that it starts in the sky, right? There's a lot of skydiving involved. And you have the original map. It's changed a bit because of what's happened in the events of this game. You suck! Alright, that's one. Criminy, how many? I don't remember how I got through this before. This isn't fun for anybody. Probably no fun to watch. It's certainly not very fun to play. So I gotta get like enough running speed to like take him by surprise, basically. Or at the very least, you know, be able to see his flipping swords so that I can draw him out from the edge of the screen. I'm glad I got shield up because there's no way I'm making it through this otherwise. Jump isn't gonna help me. Ah, I gotta be patient. I hate this. Okay. I hate patience. Ooh. Should've looked at the screen item. Ah, come on! Come on, Sean, get it together. Okay. Hey, alright. Should I save it? I should save it here. Just so we can get through this. Jeepers. So yeah, I want to get through the story of Tears of the Kingdom, but again, there's so much game to get through, and I mentioned the... Oh! Hold on. Right, so there's... This is how direct of a sequel this game is. Like it's the same characters, everyone's a bit older. Hyrule is rebuilding from the events of the first game. The previous game, I should say. Breath of the Wild. And like, it's the first time this has happened in a Zelda game ever. Like, you know, this is supposed to be the land of Hyrule, right? But there's no shared map whatsoever. There's like no landmarks, nothing between this game and the previous one. Now there's some intrepid fan art that's shown like the whole world, and where like Zelda 1 and 2 and Link to the Past and maybe even Ocarina of Time have taken place. But the only other time there's like a remotely shared map between games, not even direct sequels, just like, you know, ones on different consoles and whatnot, is Twilight Princess, as a matter of fact. And it was hard to tell because the original Twilight Princess had the whole world inverted because they had to make Link right-handed for all the Wii users. Now the GameCube version had the game as they intended it. So yeah, there was some like reason they couldn't just like switch hands for Link, or like mirror all the enemies or whatever to make things right-handed. They just mirrored the whole world instead. And as a result of that, you lost that there were major landmarks, Kakariko Village being like a main one, that were equivalent between Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess. You know, keeping in mind that Twilight Princess, not counting Wind Waker, was like the first Zelda game after Ocarina, right? Well, yeah. I guess you have to count it. But, ow, such a jerk. Nothing. Nothing. Ow. Lame. Try this again. Maybe what I'll do is I'll save it after I get him off the horse. So yeah, and that was a really cool revelation, but you never noticed, like, you knew there was a Kakariko Village, but it wasn't anywhere near the same place in the overworld as it was in Ocarina, so you might not have thought much about it if you played the Wii version like I did, because I never got the GameCube version. So getting the Wii U HD version was like great, because like now I can like do a video about this or something. Oh god, how long has Twilight Princess has been out? Since 2006. I've wanted to make this since when is Link right-handed video for the last 17 years, you guys. But I told myself I'll get Twilight Princess on GameCube when it like goes down in price. And of course, it never did. It's only gotten worse, as a matter of fact. So I have the Wii U HD version, which came out, well, between 20. Hold on. I didn't save it, did I? Oh well, I'll just have to not lose. Stinks. Alright, use that life up. Get him to follow me to half screen. And oh, criminy! Jeepers creepers. Anyway. Oh man, I didn't quite... I'm gonna waste my points, aren't I? It's just gonna get me to the next level and stop, isn't it? I got so close! What goes up next? Magic? Why not? Yep, it just stopped. I'm not gonna go back and grind, but like basically what could have happened is I could have had like 0 points and gotten all the way up to the next level by defeating the palace. This stinks. So mad. Well, at least I got more magic, and I can probably do life 2 times with the bar that I have now. Dang it. So frustrated. I got 2 more containers to get. I don't think that they were on that island, though. I know where to get it. Get one of them, anyway. These guys steal magic from you. So how many... It's much easier to grind there once you get the up thrust, because then you can get more of those guys in a pass, and then you get like 10 points apiece. Alright, now I have the raft that I got from that palace. I can go across the water here and end up in this foreign land. Oh, I hate these guys. Should I go? Oh, that could have helped me. I probably should have gone across the water first, huh? Anyway. Naburu. So, eagle-eyed and Zelda gamers with good memory will know that these town names were all used for sages not during that time later on. I need to walk in water. I have a raft. Nope. Gotta have both, apparently. You gotta walk on the water and you need a raft. Now watch this trick I'm doing, right? Like I came across the magic user first. And then I used the magic that I had to fill up my life so I don't have to visit the other prostitute or whatever. That's what even as a kid, it's like, what are they doing in the house? Anyway. There she is. She looks evil with those red eyes. I am thirsty. So, this is one of those incredibly simple puzzles. Want to get some water? Yeah. Got some water. Now she's thirsty. I bet she is. I'm the thirst trap. Oh, Vinnk. You had water coming to my house. It's like she couldn't walk. She couldn't walk to the freaking fountain. Like, at least some of these other puzzles, the thing I need to find is a screen over and like in a room under a table. Like, no, it's just like, I'm thirsty, I have the vapors. And like any man that walks in with water, she's just like, oh, heavens above. Why is she a Southern Belle? I have no idea. So every town has magic. And when I first played this, I goofed and did not get that magic in 2 of the towns I visited. Yeah. Or sorry, there were 3 towns available to me. I visited 2 of them and got magic from 1 because I needed it to progress. But I skipped over the one with life magic. So if you go back and watch the original stream, I made things a little harder on myself than they had to be. Oh, this is the one that'll heal me up. But I am not hurt. Revive. Okay, what do you need? See a man in Darunia for the islands. Darunia is now related to the Gorons, right? Good enough for me! But Naburu, right? That's what this place is called. Alright, so I could go to the next palace right away, but I really, really want the up thrust. So we're going to do that first. Oh, I can't up thrust. I was trying to up thrust that guy and I can't do it. Alright, so these dudes are impervious to my weapons, as you can see. So, whoopsie doodles. But if you use the fire spell, which I just got, you can hurt them. Now, funnily enough, this was not the original design. These jumping spider guys too. What are they called in the first game? The design's a little bit different, so I'm a little thrown by it. Are these called Goma? I don't remember. They all open their eyes at like roughly the same time. It's just so flipping creepy. Oh, I don't have quite enough magic to use Life Slice still. Man. Oh, now I do. Ah! Get away! I need that! Alright. We good now? We're good. Okay. Oh! Sorry, I was looking at the chat and not where I was going. But in the Famicom Disk System version of this game, fire was pretty much useless. And there weren't any enemies that required that you had the spell to defeat them. So this was like an adjustment made for this game, which made fire a little more important, but still not important enough to even exist in the game, really. Sorry, I'm just checking to see if there's any spots I'm supposed to pick up goodies that I might have missed. I don't think so, but I wanted to double check. Now, little trick I can introduce here that'll help you get through this game. If you don't, a lot of these spots require you to jump over them. And it's just a place that you could lose a life and die, and that really stinks. So what you can do is you can time this so that you can have a random encounter. If you start moving toward a tile, the random encounter will happen on the tile that you're moving to. And you can do the much easier random encounter. Much easier. Random encounter than rather than like fall to your death. Because at least if you there we go. At least if you fall, or you don't fall here, at least you can like get hit and have a chance of getting healed once you get to town. So, alright, that's one. Another one there. There's nothing like on those screens I'm skipping that you need. It's just challenge for the sake of pointless challenge, and so I don't feel bad about skipping these at all. Also, just demonstrate how the trick works. I want to do a whole video basically about how to play this game. Like, you know, I'll condense the tips that I've been sharing across these multiple streams. Dribbling out, you know, in a much more presentable fashion, mind you. But there we go. And so there's nothing else in my way. I can go right to town. Bada bing, bada boom. And this is Darunia, I believe. Mountain Town of Darunia. So, at some point when they did Ocarina of Time, it's like, oh, mountains? Gorons live in mountains. We'll name a character Darunia. So it's a very clever callback to an earlier game that takes place later in the timeline. Anyway. You know, the timeline splitting into like 3 different things really reminds me of Dark. And if I just spoiled Dark for you, I'm very sorry. But safe to say that doesn't really spoil Dark so much as maybe give you something intriguing to look forward to. I don't know. Revive. And how? Magic. Thank you very much. So in addition to having spells in every town, there are 2 towns with additional abilities. I got the down thrust from one of them. Ah! Ah! Alright. So I just use my jump. Get on top of these roofs. And pop, pop, and I'm just like Santa Claus down the chimney into this locked house. Boy, they gotta really tighten up their security. And now I have the up thrust. Oh baby. Now I'm unstoppable. Yes! Oh, look at all those frames of animation! Love it. Anyway. Now what do I do? There's a spell in this town too, right? Well, so glad you asked. I really wanted up thrust first, though. I'll save Hyrule, alright. I'll save it, but good. That soldier that you saw, his sprite's different than the Famicom Disc System version. Rest of the kidnapped children. Alright. So I cleverly named this the Island Palace, but really there are 2 island palaces, and I'm probably gonna get to both of them. So, all right, I'm gonna save this quick just to show you guys what it's like to actually go through it. Yep, there. So there's bubbles, and those hurt. And if you run into one as you're jumping, you die, and you fall into a pit and you lose a life. And that stinks. So do I care to lose a life by falling down into a pit? I sure don't. So I didn't miss much there, but this is a good trick to do later. Oh, there's no bubbles in this one. This is a good trick to learn for later, especially when trying to get to the palace. The Great Palace, the final one. It doesn't really matter so much if you lose life getting there, because once you're there and you die, you start being in the palace. The trick then is to like being able to be good enough, basically, to know what you're doing, to use the 3 lives that you have to get through it. So you can pick up extra lives throughout the game and try to hoard them for later, but it never really works. In fact, like dying in strategic spots to like refill your life in magic is kind of important. Oh, how did that happen? Is kind of important, I think. So if you find an extra life, just use it right away, basically. So here's the island. Can I remember where the spot is I need to go? I think it's up in here. That's it. Oh, it's one of these guys. So these lizard guys are in Breath of the Wild, and Zalthos, I believe. Oh, timing was bad. All right, well, good thing I saved back there, because I'm gonna have to. Ow! I'm gonna have to die. Is it just the blue? Those blue bots? Those oh, I almost got knocked into the pit. That give me that I need to kill to get those blue containers, or is any blue thing? I don't know the answer to that. I've tried it before, but I mentioned the bots. They're the little gel guys, the little, I don't know, what do I call them? Slimes. I can't think of the name. That you might see in other games, but they're more prolific in castles and stuff. You might see a whole bunch of them somewhere. Or there's like a fountain that like spits them out, basically. So here's a blue guy. So if you run across those in a palace, it's a good way to keep your health up. Because if you can kill, I think it depends. Ow. Oh shoot! I should have done that first. I think it depends on what you're trying to do. But if you can like get through a palace, especially the Great Palace, without losing your life, and you need to like recharge somewhere, and there's just a spot where you can get more of those guys, you should absolutely do it, and then you can continue on without having to like really extend yourself. So if you can do it, how many? 8 times 6, so 48 times. Kill 48 bots. You can get your magic all the way filled up. And I think you can get 2 live get your life full and then get your magic full again. So you know, you might do like 144 times. But I'm glad I don't like do any jumping. Like this is one of those bridges where you almost would certainly have to jump across some obstacle, but there's so much to do on this island. I'm glad they didn't add like one more thing, and maybe they did originally, and they're like, nah, it's just too much. So, finally. God, this is embarrassing. All right, I'm just gonna start over. We'll continue from here. I'm trying to get through this on like one life. It's ridiculous. I didn't have nearly enough experience points to be like, no, I have to save those. So anyway, I'd probably be farther along right now in my levels. Like I would do more grinding, and that's probably why I'm having a harder time. Because right now that I have upthrust, I could just hang out here and do a lot of grinding. So I want to. That's not the one I want. These dudes will take your magic as well as your health. Yeah. So that's what that little sound meant. Sorry, no, it doesn't take your magic, it takes your experience points. So it's a little dangerous to actually do this here because you might drain your experience points as you're trying to earn them. But if you can get the harder guys, those ones are like 100 a pop, and maybe just kill those, you might have a better time of it. It might even out some of the losses you get by getting hit by those dudes. Okay, that little here is your experience points going down. Love that for me. Anyway. You have enough thrust now so I can do this. Ha! Eat it! Fuffer and fuck cash. Ooh, don't mind if I do. So I can demonstrate with fire here. Oh. You don't have to touch them. Good stuff, right? Now the next major question is, oh, little trick. Hold on a second. They didn't really tell you this, but once you get the hammer, fine. Tell you in a second. Right, these guys are all blue, and I'm not getting potion refills. He's blue. Oh, he gave me one. Acturax! From the Zelda commercial. Never mind. Anyway, well, not a lot of life left. Yeah, I usually have like higher life and magic and whatnot, and that's not such a hard time getting through here. Maybe next time I play, I'll have leveled up a bit, do some grinding. Oh, I hate those guys so much. I'll just save it there then. It's like, here's what I said about like strategically losing lives, right? Like I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna be able to make it on the lives that I have. So in the Famicom Disk System version, you have to like stab anything that you save. I don't know if that child is tied up to like make the stabbing a little less weird. But you have to like stabby. All right. So I mentioned the magic thing. I have to go back to the town now with the rescued child to get a piece of magic that I'm going to need for this palace. There it is. So you can use the hammer to chop down trees. Who knew? I think that they tell you in a village somewhere. But I know, because I remember. There's no real benefit to this. There's a place where you have to use it eventually, which is one they tell you. But, and then of course, as soon as you are done, you go into one of these random encounters, they go away, your handiwork. But I don't think there's anything you can uncover except for that specific thing that they have you look for with that ability. Excuse me. So, kind of a wild thing to do to give you this like random power and not hide anything else at all in the whole game that way. Because I would have cut down, and I think I did cut down like every possible forest square as a kid, just to see, just to be sure. Because the internet didn't exist then. I mean, it did, but no one used it. It was like Usenet and stuff. Anyway, point being, it was difficult. So I'm telling you for free, there is nothing. Unless I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Oh, missed it. That's right. Oh, he moved away. Yeah, why is it when you try to avoid these guys, you can't be like, then you try to encounter them and you also can't? Randomness is weird, man. Ugh. So like I said, as annoying as this is, it's more of a sure thing than dying by falling. Alright, he was blue and I got a thing, so we can do this experiment now 1 and 2. Three, 4, 5. Is it just 5? Is it different because they're different enemies? I'm not sure. Anyway, seems like any blue enemy will add to that total. Alright. Stop it, you bet I'm gonna. Roxanne! Because she's wearing a red dress? Do you get it? No? Okay. Well, anyway. Back in Darunia to give this kid back. Is the kid even in my inventory? Yeah. There are things in your inventory that you don't even get to see. So, like, if you forget where you're at, that you've already, like, rescued this kid, you're never going to know. So, like, later Zelda games do a much better job, because they only give you one screen here. Later Zelda games give you multiple screens where they can show you, like, the adventure items that aren't, like, items. And even will, like, darken them or do other kinds of things that let you know that you've used them or returned them or whatever has happened. So I got Reflect, which is going to be a required spell for getting through this next palace, but also is helpful for other enemies that I've already encountered. So it's this kind of wild thing where there's like this obvious skill creep. I think the first Zelda game you could pretty much go anywhere and do almost anything, and then you were only really limited by, I think the raft was also an item in that game, so there were some inaccessible places. But for the most part, you didn't need that stuff. And like the Breath of the Wild was like a lot the same way, but I'm noticing Tears of the Kingdom has more gates in that sense. Like there are places you just clearly cannot go and cannot beat. And there are some abilities that get doled out a little bit later. Like you pretty much have every ability that you need when you leave the starting place in Breath of the Wild. Like for the rest of the game, because you can go and defeat Calamity Ganon right away if you want to. You're able to. I think Tears of the Kingdom, they felt the need to not do that. Because I think the idea was a little wrong, right? Like, because there were things that stopped you, like you needed the silver arrows, and it wasn't just about knowing where to find the 8th dungeon, right? The 8th labyrinth. You still needed all the pieces of the Triforce. You couldn't just skip to the end, right? So I think of the ending for Breath of the Wild is more like Mist than the original Zelda. So you still have to go through the whole game to beat the game in the original Zelda. So I don't mind at all that Tears of the Kingdom reintroduces at least some gates to the gameplay, but there's clearly some sequence breaking that you can do. But the game kind of expects you to do the sequence breaking, you know? It's kind of like the Super Metroid folks in that way. But yeah, if my sword power was higher, like some of these guys would die and like this. Much different, but knocking up thrust, so haha. Blue guy. See? Anything blue, apparently. Well, I learned that, so good thing I didn't write that script yet. I also keep mentioning all the things that are different between this and the Famicom Disk System version of the game. And those differences are, like, interesting, but sort of apart from the whole discussion of how to play this game well. Although there are some things worth noting that are different between the two that I would want to touch upon. But I feel like there's like two different subjects and two different videos that I would love to work on. But instead, we are gearing up for our 16th anniversary of Famicom Dojo and the 40th of the Famicom just next month. And so that's kind of redirected my energies on the videos that I'm making. I really was hoping to have 3 more done before I did that, and I couldn't even get 1 done last month because of all the things in real life that were happening. So I might get one out this month yet, in June, but I want to start focusing on the anniversary stuff that we're going to do instead in July and onward. And there'll be a lot more of it and more frequent. At least that's the plan right now. We'll see how it actually goes. But the production lift, I was talking with Vinnk about this after we last podcasted. And the problem I'm running into is that I can do I have time to do pre-production and I have time to do post-production. And I don't have a lot of time to do production because of the requirements of that, you know, like having time to film multiple takes. The noise requirements, you know, but it also requires scripting ahead of time, right? That I need to have all that stuff done. Right, hold on a second. I missed something, and I want to go back for it. Shoot. I think I know where I missed it too. Darn it. Unless I'm wrong. Could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. Ooh. Ow! You're all jerks. Ugh. Bounce enough to get off them, and we're all good to go. Right. Where was I going? This way? There it is. Ah! Thank you. I need this bad. Oh yeah, I don't have to hit them with the sword. Whatever. I should have. I wasn't paying attention. I should have used life as that was filling up because it would have filled up totally, and I'd be fine. Now, is it going to let me jump out when the direction I was going, or am I south of it? Okay, it did let me go out the way I was going. Whew. Saved me some time. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Tears of the Kingdom, man. It is such a good game so far, but it's so big. There's so much of it. I didn't even mention the stuff besides the sky. There's a whole other map, you guys. If you haven't found it, I don't want to say anything else, but jeepers creepers. There's just so much to do and explore, and I can't do it all. I don't have the time, so I have this like impatience where I want to get through the story. But I'm so mad because one of like the MacGuffin hunts that you can do, they deliberately block it. Like I can't do it. Like I can get to the spot where I need to go, but ultimately I can't get in there. And that's frustrating. Ow. Suck. So I don't know what it's waiting for exactly. Alright, let's save this. I don't know what I haven't done yet, but like those are one of the spots where I would like to get through those faster, but maybe there's a good reason because that is part of what unveils some of the story. It's kind of wild to me, actually, how much not only like the world of Breath of the Wild they've replicated for this game, but also like the mechanics. It's a different reason, but your abilities, your magical abilities, are due to a different like artifact and thing, but they're a similar idea to like the little pad that you had. Do I even have my Switch case on here? My Switch case is fashioned after it. Is it a Sheikah device? I can't remember. Ooh. Ow. Okay, so this is fun. This whole place is... Wow! Too late. Here I go. And down. Darn it. And down. Am I gonna be able to progress at all? I really goofed. Hold on. We're not doing this. We don't have the time. Ow! Again, we don't have the time. Might not get to the end of this palace before our time's up, actually. And I lost experience. Son of a gun. Just embarrassing. I'm ready for you. There he is. We'll save it here instead. Or are we? Because that guy's gonna come out of nowhere. Yeah, that's fine. So there's that gameplay mechanic. There's the whole memories thing, because in the original in Breath of the Wild, you're trying to recover your own memories of like 100 years past, right? Now instead you're recovering, I won't say what, someone else's memories this time, also of the past, but not things you would have or could have experienced directly as Link. So there's that going on. Ooh. This is the guy I could use Reflect on. Those boomeranging maces would hit my shield and then get blocked. So I kind of like how the powers build upon themselves in this way. So there's that one, and then what was the last bit? Having the starting area very similar to where you started Breath of the Wild, but you're in the sky this time, and falling out of the sky will kill you. So, makes that a little more daunting. But you get to that spot too, like, it's the same overworld, so there are landmarks you can visit again, and things have changed. And I like that. It's interesting that there's like, growth and progress throughout the world, and you don't have to like build it into the same game, right? There he Yeah. So it's almost like a second quest, but it's a second game. Because there's so much of the gameplay ethos and aesthetic and everything of Breath of the Wild that's in Tears of the Kingdom. It's like it is kind of like high-level DLC for an MMO, and it's such a big game. It's such a big game that like it's great that they got to reuse the maps of the previous game just to make this one bigger. I like that. Instead of having to start over again. It also lends to that consistency that like there hasn't really been between games of like the world of Hyrule and stuff. So I'm enjoying this. But there haven't been a lot of games that have like featured the same link between games like Zelda 2 does. Okay, watch this trick. I'm gonna hit this. And then before I fill up, I'm gonna use the life, and then it still keeps going. Now, there's a limit to how much the red ones will do for me there. But all the same, it's a useful trick. And then the higher you go, the more of these you might be able to fill up. See these boots? They're made for walking. No, I mean they are, but walking across water specifically. So these are the ones that the guys was talking about in Vinnk. So Zelda 2 here is very linear. Like you can only go in one order to do anything, really. You can't really explore, like even the first Zelda game. There's a very clear progression. Which is also to say that there kind of appears to be, I wouldn't say a hard and fast progression in Tears of the Kingdom, but it's certainly a preferred progression. And in some ways, it is hard and fast because there are characters who are like going to these places, and that's where you have to go next to interact with them to do more things. So you could do things out of order, but you have to kind of backtrack. And I don't remember doing that as much in Breath of the Wild. Like you could have gone to any of the great engines first. Oh, that's the other similarity between them, right? Like there's all these. I don't remember if they were supposed to be Sheikah robots, and this feels like it's out of like Skyward Sword, right? Like there was this distant past in this like advanced technology, and there was the whole Temple of Time thing that you did in that game, and like the Guardians and all that technology felt like it was out of that, right? So you have these memories of this past you didn't experience. Much like the first game, you have this technology from an ancient culture, which in this case I think is supposed to be more ancient than the Guardians and stuff from Breath of the Wild. It's not clear to me yet when this imprisonment war is supposed to take place in the timeline. Where am I going? This way. Am I going this way? Yeah, I got the key and came back, and now I got the boots and came back. Okay. Okay. I don't have any more keys though, so if I need a key over here, I'm gonna need those. Ooh, I don't have any magic to reflect. So another good use of your lives here, because there's just no way I'm going to be able to refill at this point, and there's not even potential there, so that's real frustrating. Yeah, I'm not going to make it. 12 minutes? I might. Only one life left though, so I can't really die and be able to get through this. Oh, jeepers! That was horrible. Alright, can I do it? I cannot. I don't have enough. So I can kill 6 of those guys, or however many. Oh. Did I just need that key to get out of here? Oh, that's upsetting. Okay. Can I go to the left in any of these? I cannot. Okay, so left is the way I go from here. Well, you guys aren't very chatty tonight. I'm doing all the talking. Alright. Ah! That's right. Usually 2 of them. Okay. I can't do anything to these guys unless I have that magic. Oh, I don't want to waste my life on this hoser. Can I just make it through here? That'd be great. These guys take my life too? Fantastic. Well, I'm gonna get this key and not be able to do much else. Dang it. Alright. Avoid the hole. Thanks, Peter! You'd help me out. Oh, no. Okay, so I can block, but I can't reflect, which is good to know. Oh, let's do it now. I feel... There we go. I have to be close enough to them. So you can practice in these little guys. Get the experience from them. Alright, so where didn't I go? Oh, I didn't go left at all yet. I just went to the right. Okay. At least these castles are built with like minimal backtracking. So yeah, so let's recap there. So there's the starting area and Tears of the Kingdom. There's the mysterious past and the war. There's the memories of an earlier time. There's the ancient technology. There are heroes who helped to defeat a great evil. In this case, they succeeded, right? Like the whole story of Breath of the Wild was that everyone failed, and your friends all died. So that's a little bit bleak. Oh, a good thing I got this, huh? Maybe not a good thing. Oh no. Oh, and I jump too. Oh. Oh no. All right, hold on a second. Can I get this guy? Yes. Just hang out until it's done. Not worth much except peace of mind. Alright. Enough keys. Probably have to go left first. Don't know that for sure, but that's just my guess. Oh, I still have jump. Ah! I'm not anticipating properly. Ah! I don't have enough left for life, I don't think. Am I gonna lose it? Oh no. I'm gonna lose all those experience points and I'm not gonna... I don't have any lives left. Oh boy. I definitely need this key in here. Alright. As long as those floaty head things aren't gonna be in my way, I don't mind going down there for something, but if they show up, I'm gonna get real mad, I'll tell you what. What else am I doing? Yeah, I don't think that I'm gonna have enough time. I definitely should kill this guy, though. What was I thinking? I'm so close to 2,500. Because I'll be able to keep that upgrade. That's what I was thinking. Good lord. I was so close until I really hosed her right there. Alright, left or right first? I'm gonna go left. Oh, reflect. There we are. Where are you? Oh! Oh, God. Made it! And life goes up. Fantastic. I live another day. Oh my god. Oh, that was close. And I get the throwing sword. Yes! I missed that. I missed that ability. Didn't really do it so much anymore. Alright. And my life might be over sooner than I thought. Oh! Ooh, that worked out. Nope. I goofed and should have gone the other way. Okay. Alright. Going to the right. General rule, if you can't go right, go left. If you can't go left, go down. I should have tried to go right first. But it's just a general rule. There are exceptions. Ow. Ow! These guys take my experience too? That's making me mad. I need that XP. And I keep thinking too how like this game introduced magic to the whole series, more or less. Like there's like magic wands and stuff in the first game, but you know, like the RPG elements too, in Breath of the Wild are just all over the place. And then, like, as much as I would like to see a new game, a remake of this, and kind of like that style of making those puzzles more easy than the flipping water, you know? Like, it would be so much nicer for this game to get some recognition because it's so good. And like a little modern design care and TLC would go a long way to endearing it to people. I don't know if it's worth it, but they've remade other Zelda games before, not drastically, mind you, but enough that it feels like they should try. You know, they've remade 2 Metroid games so far, just due to their age, basically. Metroids 1 and 2, to be exact. Haven't tried or even dared to do Metroid 3 yet. That's kind of heresy, right? Let's save here. But I don't have enough magic. Oh, God! It's okay, because I think there's like a lot of guys between me and there, and I'm probably just going to die anyway. Yikes. I don't have jump. Or much life left now either. Jeepers, that was terrible. I think I saved before I came down here. I need more wizards. That's true. I do. Come down here. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Get you first. Okay. I don't really need to kill them at all. There's no way I can even get up there without jump. So there it stays. Ah! I'm throwing those swords and I can't deflect them. I cannot defeat this boss without magic. I am in a pickle. Not enough blue guys between here and there, y'all. Oh, this stinks! Yeah, I'm stuck. I'm stuck and I can't do it. I got to the important parts though. We're gonna do this, guys. We're gonna take our last few minutes. We're gonna get there. Where was I? So more Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild similarities, champions of the past. In some ways, it feels like it's gonna retread the themes of Ocarina of Time. But like the nearly identical structure to Breath of the Wild, even though it only came out 7 years ago, is really something. It is like they just kind of remade the game a little bit. Is that really a bad thing? I'm not complaining, but you know, if you've played both, you'll notice. Like, you can't not notice. I was like, oh, this is basically the same game I just played 7 years ago. So I hope it has more to say about the Zelda mythos and isn't just a remix. Because, like, why else, you know, you do this kind of remake a long time later, not just a little bit later. Although, like, would this game have even been on the same console? Like, did they expect it to be on the Switch 2 or whatever was supposed to come out next, and that's why they felt like it could be the same game? I really do think like the fact of these parallels does have more to do with a lack of Nintendo console than it does any specific plan to like make a second Zelda game for a second console for a change. Because what was I saying about that earlier before I got distracted? This takes place the same Link after the first Zelda. Link's Awakening is supposed to be the same Link as the one from Link to the Past, although it doesn't need to be. I don't think there's anything in the specific story. A lot of this stuff is from the use some fire. A lot of this stuff could be interpreted differently. Like it's not really clear what Zelda game, if any, that Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons are supposed to follow from. Because the most recent one to their release was Ocarina of Time, and then Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, which was the last time. This is pathetic. Which was the last time that two games were released on the same system. If you don't count Oracle of Ages and Seasons, but they were designed that way. I don't know. Do you count? It gets a little murky, right? Because we have Wind Waker directly referencing Ocarina of Time, made for a different system, but not really a sequel per se, but directly referencing it nonetheless. And then Twilight Princess comes out, and it's on the GameCube, but it has nothing to do at all with Wind Waker. It's in its own timeline, like completely. And then you have, they also have it on the Wii, but then you have Skyward Sword. So like Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword have nothing in common either, even though they're on the same system. So what do you do about that? And then oh, ha! You see that? Dang it! I got those boots. I could have just walked up the water to get to the frickin' palace. Ah, God, I'm feeling like an idiot. That doesn't happen universally, mind you. That could have, that I can't walk on any water with these boots. I can just walk on certain paths. So the designers of this game wanted me to be able to walk on that specific water. Dang it. Oops. Anyway. Yeah, so that's where it gets a little murky as to how this sequel thing works. But the last game where it was for sure that Link was the same Link between games is Majora's Mask. I guess caveat, if we're going with handheld, so there's Oracle of Ages and Seasons, it's supposed to be the same one. Oh yeah, so like I think you're supposed to think that it's a Link and Zelda from Ocarina, but their depiction of Impa is more like the first Zelda game, which which doesn't fit with Ocarina because she's like a lithe Sheikah warrior. So unless she got really old for no reason. So the Breath of the Wild imp is supposed to be like a oh shoot. Yes, this is the right way. The Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Impa is supposed to be more of a callback to the original Impa. I don't really need to get that experience stuff, because once I get to the end, I'll just go all the way up to the next level anyway. So I'm just going to ignore that. So there were 2 DS games, and I've only played one of them myself. Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, and those, as far as I'm supposed to understand, are definitely like, at least Phantom Hourglass is definitely the Wind Waker Link and Zelda, but not for the same console. So it's different. Oh, dang it. How? Just hang out here. Don't do anything. We'll be fine. And this isn't just a way to beat this guy, it's the only way. You have to use Reflect. There's no other way. I think every other one is like some of the spells helped. Like having Shield for the second palace really helps, and Life really helps. You don't need it as long as you don't get hit. But here you had no choice. Hey Miles, how's it going? Attack will go up. Yeah, it will, finally. Criminy. Alright, so now I can hop back out of here. I think that's what I'm supposed to do when I leave. It's supposed to be like, can I walk on water? So, here we are. I'm gonna get me back to that one town. Because I could grind here, but it's a lot harder. It's much preferable, especially because you need fire. It's much more preferable to just do it back at that graveyard. I think, anyway. At least for me. I don't like grinding at all. Just stop you. I know what you're thinking, especially if Miles is still here. Anyhoozle. Yeah, so that's this game. Took a little while. 2 palaces left, so I don't think we're gonna... We'll do this again sometime, but probably not this month. Thank you all for joining me, though. Speaking of which, we have 2 producers picks to do this month, because I didn't do one last month. So I'll be putting something on the Patreon pretty soon, so if you're at the Good Lord. Producer, after I said producer's pick. Dang it. All right, so sorry. Let me start all over. This stinks. Okay, we gotta do the producer's picks. We have 2 producer's picks to do. So what we're gonna do is we're going to. There were 2 people who took advantage of it last time. So we did Excite Bots at Jody's recommendation, and then I believe Daniel Hathcock wanted to do another go at Wizards and Warriors, the first one. So we're gonna pick up Wizards and Warriors again. I'm sure that the save state's still on the Retron 5 here. We'll just pick it up where we left off, and we'll do that for the second pick for April. For May, sorry, the first one was in April. May's pick we'll do next week. Let's say in 2 weeks, because I'll get to that in a second. So I gotta change the way I'm doing it, because I think the way that I'm doing it, doing the producers picks, isn't quite in line with Patreon's policies, and I don't want to run afoul of that. So we're gonna make it a poll instead, and we're gonna whittle it down. Instead of having this big list that's daunting to go through of like every game I own for every console, I'm gonna pick a handful of consoles. I've done this before with like Twitter and YouTube and even Patreon. Do you do polls on Patreon? How do we do it on Patreon? Anyway, anywhere I can do polls, I've done this before. I whittle the choices down by console, and then have the consoles fight for supremacy, basically. And what I've done is I've actually used that strategy to prioritize the videos, so that we still like go through each of those games just in a specific order that people really wanted to go through. So we'll probably just lock that down to the Patreon subscribers instead. So by the end of this month of July, we'll have your pick ready to go for like the first week of April or something. So to make up for that, we'll do Wizards and Warriors, which is going to be May's pick in 2 weeks, and then next week we're going to play Super Empire Strikes Back. It was really fun doing the Star Wars Famicom game. This game seems real similar, so I think we're going to have a good time with it. Also, The Mandalorian Season 3 ended recently. I'm still kind of in a Star Wars state of mind. There's a lot of Star Trek coming up, too. So, as I do during Star Wars games, I'm going to be talking about Star Trek while I play a Star Wars game. So, Strange New Worlds Season 2 is coming in a couple of weeks, and I just can't wait. Especially for that Lower Decks crossover. It looks so good. But that all aside, yeah, so if you are a Patreon supporter now at the producer level or above, you will be able to vote in these polls to try and get one up for next week. We can start this whole process so that like every week or every few days we can have enough to vote on that we can have a final selection. Cool. I love it. So anyway, did I say April? Yeah, I meant August. Anywho, yeah, so if you want to go to patreon.com/Famicom Dojo now and sign up, if you're not a producer yet, you can become a producer today. If that's too rich for your blood, that's okay. We have many other levels that you can join at, including the extra credit level, which will give you all of this access to videos we are working on now, like the ones I've been mentioning. I really owe you guys something for one of those still, but the more recent one, we've done 3 this year so far. Which is pretty good given our track record from last year. But there's extras, there's like deleted scenes, there's bloopers, there's drafts of all those videos, plus the ones we've done since we started Patreon back in 2019. You get access to all that extra stuff, which I think is super cool. So apart from that, yeah, you also get the ability to watch the new videos we're going to do ahead of time before anyone else. So I'm going to try and get to that. I mentioned earlier during the stream that we have our anniversary coming up, so we're going to be doing something special for that too. If you've been watching, if you've been following on Patreon or Discord, you might have some inkling of what I'm talking about. We'll be talking more about that soon, but that'll start next month. Also, the Famicom 40th anniversary, so we're going to do some new Famicom content for y'all this year. It's going to be great. In the meantime, we have a new Famicom Dojo podcast stream that you should go check out. We have two Boobs Watch the Tube episodes about TV shows, and one of those is on the audio stream. One of those is only video right now, and you can go right here to Famicom Dojo Live to find any of those in our playlists, or just subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or whatever they're calling all those new services now, because it used to be iTunes and Google Play, and they're all different now. Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you can download podcasts, you can find us. So, and then join us on Discord. I'll drop a link in the chatty chat right now if you want to talk more. And we always talk about TV stuff in the Discords too. Part of the reason we started doing copy link. Part of the reason we started doing the Two Boobs Watch the Tube podcast. So do it right meow. Discord link, paste, done. Come to the Discord. You're gonna like it. Anyway, so subscribe to this channel. If you're watching now and you're not subscribed, subscribe now. No. When we do new games that we haven't done before, I like to do a little teaser that'll draw you in, give you some idea of what we're doing next. And then I think I still owe a shorts video, or at least an excerpt from our last Dojo podcast. It's pretty funny. We should just watch the whole thing now anyway, but I know not everyone has that attention span for an hour and a half of podcasts. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling. I need to get some kiddos in bed. There's a few more days of school left. We're almost to summer, guys. But until then, we're still springing into action. And until next time, the dojo is hurling our bodies, hurling them at the enemies to stab them with a little tiny sword. That's how it goes.
Famicom Dojo.